Hi guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Now I'm doing this video in the hallway because inside my living room sounds like somebody is running across the ceiling, up and down continuously. It's hard to relax. I can't go on my balcony because the neighbours next door are out there. I think it's combined neighbours that are trying to either make me lose my mind or get me out of my flat. I'm convinced. They have been on the balcony. The guy on that balcony was on there for about 4 hours yesterday. I had to wait till he went out to walk his dog to put my washing onto the balcony. I told you that he was burping inside his flat every time I went out on the balcony. Now, basically, this happened last year. Both sets of them started picking on me. And I wasn't doing anything. I was trying to go to the shop and go out across the path, right? So it's both lots of them. Now, can we go back to when I met this Sean Clark from a dating agency? And I reported Sean Clark's antics to the Kent police because he was cyberbullying me into giving him rude photographs. And he gave my photograph to a young man. Not the rude ones, well, I hope not, but he gave my photo to a young lad. Now, that's without my permission. So basically, I contacted the police. The first lady fobbed me off. The second time I reported it because he kept harassing me on Facebook and telling me to go into this bathroom here, which is next door to one set of the neighbours that keep stalking me, right? It's right next to the one set of neighbours that keep stalking me in here, right? He kept telling me to take pictures of my boobs and my nipples. I sent all the chats to the police and everything, and the case was closed. Now, someone's told me to ask them to reopen it. It's not good enough, especially as I'm being stalked by neighbours, right? There's something odd and suspicious going on. Yesterday, I didn't have much money, and I said to myself out loud, oh, I'd love some fish and chips. So I went up to the field this morning and someone's thrown fish and chips into the bin. Right? They've thrown them into the bin this morning. Or they must have done it last night, maybe from the Pride Festival, thrown fish and chips into the bin. Right? I noticed a man in the co-op dressed like the guy upstairs, and he had the word VHO on his black bag. VEHO. VHO. And I noticed two girls talking, and one of them saying to the other, oh, I must send a message to Tommy. There is something really, really suspicious going on inside and outside this flat, right? I had a suspicion there was spyware in my safe house in Gloucestershire when the phone recorded everything I was saying to my kids. And my ex-husband heard it and relayed every word for word that my children had said to me over a phone call. And my mother's also done that as well. When I went in a car to All Hallows with my dad, when I came back home, my mother had repeated word for word what I had said to my father inside the car. At that time, I couldn't film things or tape it because my dad would have told me off. He told me off if ever I taped something or took photos. He told me to F off. Now I'm working for myself and I take photos and undercover videos and I know what's going on. And it's obviously porn orientated, pornography and snooping, right? So I am going in undercover. People won't know when I'm taking photos or videoing because I'm very quiet and I'm very clever. Now I'm going to let you hear. Kim said to me in the co-op this morning, she said, "Are you going to see your mother today?" This is my mother's voicemail message from this morning.
You have 37 new messages and 22 saved messages. New messages. Good morning, Janesta. This is your mother, Jennifer, speaking to you from her online phone to you, Janesta, this Sunday morning. Hoping you're okay. Hope you have a good day. Hope things can only get better for you. Bye for now, Janesta. I will give you another telephone call sometime today to let you know that I'm thinking of you. As I always do, you know that? I always think about you. Always at the back of my mind. I hope Janesta's alright. I hope Janesta's alright, you know. And that is me. It's not being overbearing, but thinking of you, Janesta. You know? It's good to think of someone else other than yourself, which is how I think about myself. Okay? I'd rather think of someone else than myself at the back of my mind. But you're going to think of the person that I'm thinking about and getting in touch, just saying hello, how are you? It's a relief, you know, and it's good to talk. Okay, bye for now, Janesta. I'll give you another call later on. Bye.
Right, I'm keeping a record of this for the police and the housing, including my mother's bullying behaviour. So she didn't call me a woman, she called me a person. She called me Janesta, and my name is Crystal. And that's when the racism starts and the black people start coming down the road imitating me, right? So all her calls are being logged and what she's saying. I reported my mother to the police when I first came down in 2008. I wanted my mum and dad to help me go up to Gloucestershire to get my son out of care. And both of them paid no interest in doing that. My mum was a nuisance. Every time the social services rang up the phone, she made a noise and a racket. And she said, "Oh no, he can't live here. He can't come down and live here. It's racism. My son is not white. My son is half Turkish, so his skin colour is brown." So my mum did not want my son to come down to Chatham to be with me. And I had social services refuse to call me up on the phone because my mother was making a nuisance of herself. And I have a letter somewhere, digging it out from far away, saying that my mum was a third-party interference. She was a nuisance. Every time I took a call, she started playing up and being silly. And she prevented friends, family and people from talking to me by being a nuisance every time I picked up the phone and talked. Okay? I reported her to the police because she was preventing me from using the telephone, and she'd taken the doorbell off the door of Victoria Road and put it in her handbag, right? She'd hidden the doorbell and she'd hidden the phone, preventing anyone from calling me or seeing me at the door. She also aggressively held my hand, and I reported her to the police. The police did nothing. When my dad attacked me, they did nothing. Right? I'm not having any of this anymore. My mum is obviously worried about something. That is why she's calling me 3 times a day, 7 days a week. She doesn't care about me because she wouldn't have let my dad do what he did. So that is lies. Oh, and by the way, the newspaper guy delivered my mail on Sunday. Here's the copy of it. Oh, and you should have heard my mother when my dad left some money. "It's mine, it's mine. It's all mine," she said. He never gave me anything. This is all mine. That's what my mum said when my dad died and he left money behind. And that's what people normally do when someone dies. Rifle for all the clothing and see if there's any money left.